Okay, I'm going to speak a little bit about tips. Tips for the speaking test. Okay. The first tip, of course, is you need to practice speaking English with somebody else who speaks English as much as possible before the exam. It's not a good idea to be speaking your native language, 1 or 2 minutes or even 20 minutes before the exam. Just practice speaking English as much as possible before the test. The second tip is elaborate on your answers. Don't just give short, robotic, yes, no answers. You need to talk for 2 or 3 sentences. If the examiner asks you where you're from, don't just say Libya or whatever. Say, well, I'm from Tripoli in Libya, which is the capital city of Libya. In fact, it's on the northwestern coast of Libya and enjoys pleasant beaches and a great old town. That is elaboration. Now, on the other hand, do not get carried away. Don't continue speaking indefinitely. You need to stick to the subject and you need to basically answer the question. You may use 2 or 3 sentences to answer the question, but don't speak indefinitely. Don't get carried away and go on and on and on. Okay, another tip. If you don't understand something, you can ask the examiner. You can say, I don't understand the question. Or you can even say, well, this topic is something I don't know anything about. Can you give me another topic? Now, obviously, you can't ask too many questions. So just make sure that you ask the examiner questions that are critical. All right. Okay. Another tip, if you make a mistake, don't worry. Your English is being tested. It's not going to be perfect. If you make a mistake, just correct yourself right away. Correct yourself and move on. The important thing is fluidity and coherence. Continue to talk and do not worry about making mistakes. If you do make one, don't worry about it. Or if you think it's quite serious, correct yourself immediately. Don't spend a minute trying to correct yourself, okay? Good. Finally, before you do the speaking test, make sure you're familiar with a lot of phrases that introduce something that you're going to say or change the subject or end a topic. So you need to be familiar with phrases like, well, I'm going to talk about, or in my opinion, blah, 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 or some people say, etc. Now, you also need to be familiar with changing your direction. You should know words like whereas, or on the other hand, or additionally, or in some cases, people don't agree or agree with this. Okay, so getting familiar with some useful phrases before the test is very important, and practice them. Okay, well, that's it for the tips right now. Thank you very much.